So the rate process really starts with an acknowledgement and understanding that our operating and maintenance costs, the costs of just basic repairs, employee costs, insurance costs, all those things, starting to creep up over time, as they do with inflation. And then it's taking those kind of increased costs that we see and again looking at what do we need to do for capital to make the investments, make sure we're reinvesting in our larger equipment and our systems, and using that to kind of package together to come up with a rate that goes into a rate study to determine here's what rates need to be across the board for all the users of the system. Let's look out 20 years and try to figure out what do we need to do to make sure that we're still delivering safe, reliable, clean water and handling sewage properly out well into the future. And you do that over 20 years with a real focus on what do we need to do over these next 5 years. And that's really what drives the rate discussion, are those capital projects that you're gonna have to do over the next 5 years.
So without investing in our infrastructure, we risk not being able to properly treat our drinking water or make sure that the wastewater released into the environment is also pure.
So you could say the process started even before I came on as town manager in 2017. We got the data back and kind of realized, okay, there's some adjustments we can make. We don't necessarily need to raise rates right now. A couple years later in 2019, started to pick that up again, started to talk with the engineering firm about what we might do and prioritizing the projects because we still had those, the needs were still there. And then of course that ran into 2020 and changed a lot of things as it did for everybody. So we really picked it up in earnest, I'd say, again at the beginning of 2021 to really start doing the analysis, getting all the data together, having the interviews with the superintendents and employees at both of the utilities to really get that data back, make sure we knew what we were going to need in terms of the rates.
We want to increase production here at the plant, increase what these filters can maintain, reconstruct our basins, get some better and more efficient mechanical components to include our chlorine analyzers, which reads what our chlorine residual is in each section part of our treatment process, the filters, the basins, the tank, going out in the system.
We had to upgrade to meet the ammonia requirement. We had to upgrade to meet our solids handling requirements. We had to upgrade in order to meet more stringent effluent limits. We had to upgrade in order to meet the CSO requirements. The next one is going to be total nitrogen, and we do not have the facilities in place to meet a total nitrogen limit.
So over the next 5 years at Water, we're looking at investing a little over $10 million in capital. These rates don't just apply to the plants, it's also about the collection system at sewer and then the water distribution system, which has 56 miles of pipe at our water and 84 miles of sewer collection that we're responsible for, not to mention 3 water towers, 2 high water towers and then one that's here on the ground at the plant behind me. And we have some areas in town that have some pretty old water mains and we need to start getting a program to replace those as they age and we have too many breaks. At sewer, we were able to release a lot of funds from the refinancing that we did of all the sewer debt in 2020. So with those funds, plus the rate increase, we anticipate being able to fund everything with cash and not having to issue debt. So at Water, we're looking at funding with certainly the cash on hand that we have, and we're also looking at using a lot of the ARP funds, the federal ARP funds. So we're going to use that to offset the increase that would be needed. We do anticipate probably issuing about a $4 to $5 million bond.
If we control it, we keep the public informed, we look at all of our options, we give them all the information that we can, and then we can decide which approach we want to take.
For a typical Speedway resident, so that's 4,000 gallons or less, that person's water bill is probably looking at about a $10 increase. And then at sewer, again, same Speedway resident, 4,000 gallon customer, they're going to see about a $5 increase per month. If the increase is approved, our new water rate would put us in the middle of the pack in central Indiana. If the sewer rate is approved, we would go to third lowest, still an enviable position. Rates that are paid through water and sewer are based on the size of the meter, which is based on the size of the pipe that is going into the house, commercial building, whatever. The percentage increase will be the same across those meter sizes, those customer sizes that are out there.
with the improvements that we're wanting to do with our chemicals to improve our water quality and capitalize on that, I think it's going to put us well above the expectations of our community with how they would like to see our water quality.
It's a complex system. It's not a simple system to control.
It's something that we want to take care of. Water's a vital function. Everybody needs it.
And we have to plan. We really don't have a choice at this point.